So the album first started to come together about 4 years ago, really. So that's quite a long time ago now. And that's sort of when writing first started. I started coming up with a few ideas. And that was actually before Dave joined the band.
Yeah.
Dave joined the band, how long ago now?
Nearly 4 years ago.
Yeah, probably is.
Lost 2 years to a pandemic.
It was a pandemic, but so really writing started about 4 years ago. And there wasn't particularly a theme in place or anything at that point, just a few ideas for songs. And then just before the pandemic started, I think we were sort of starting to form ideas for when we were actually going to start recording some stuff. And we'd had a few ideas written, and so we'd got the basis of a few songs. And
they were quite different then. When we ran through them, we rehearsed a couple. I remember "Worlds Made of Sound," but it was totally different song when we rehearsed it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, having the pandemic there and stuff, obviously it was a terrible time, but creatively and for the album, it actually worked out sort of good in some ways, because we had the time to craft the songs a bit more. So we had the recording studio booked, I think, like the week lockdown hit. So probably
literally that.
Literally. So that wasn't great. So we sort of had to think, what do we do now? We've got an album to record.
I think it was when I was just about doing my keyboard parts.
Yeah, it was. We were basically due to start doing everything.
Tracking the parts,
And you go, what do you do? So you have to, you have to try and come up with a way to make things happen.
Yeah.
So we had a Zoom team meeting, basically,
we did.
like so many others did. And that was when really the whole album started to come together in that particular meeting, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So we
thematically.
Yeah, thematically, and so we decided we were sort of going to record it a bit differently. We're going to sort of record in our own studios. Wayne, who I co-produced the album with, has a studio down in Nottinghamshire, and so he was going to record the drums from there. And we were all going to sort of do our thing. And there was this time, wasn't there, when we were in a Zoom meeting, and we sort of talked about songs, and me and Jamie had an idea, and you were just jotting lyrics down, weren't you, during the Zoom meeting?
It became Open My Eyes.
It did,
and that gave us the whole idea for what the album would be about. And
that's it. The whole theme, which sort of this, it's a bit like a bit of redemption theme sort of thing, like somebody like changing life, and basically somebody, changing their life for the better. They're not happy about the current situation, pressure-filled life in the city, and they want to move out to the country and have a simpler, more fulfilling life. And it basically did start from that Zoom meeting, and then it sort of followed, we sort of started thinking about that, and then the lyrics and some of the songs completely changed, and
it all just made sense as well.
It made sense. It was a proper natural thing. We never planned to make a concept album. Although I think we all like concept albums. We all sort of grew up with a lot of concept albums and stuff. But it was never like a plan to do a concept album, which is sort of the nice thing about it. There's that moment sometimes when you're being creative and make an album, and that moment where everything just seems to click in place after everything's been a bit like you're sort of dragging things from all different areas, and then when it's like, that's it, isn't it? That's the beauty, really.
And all that uncertainty about how we were going to make it, it all just came together.
That's it, and I think that's the beauty of it, is it was actually a very collaborative effort, even though we made it during a pandemic. It was like, it actually felt like a real collaborative effort, between us three, Wayne, and and everyone who was involved. John P. Taylor, who co-wrote a few songs as well, and Ollie Brown, who came and did some fantastic backing vocals. So it was a very collaborative effort, and I think it's, even though it was done, very individually, it was just came, it feels like a real band album, I think.
It does. Such a great team as well to work with.
Absolutely,
a lot of mind thinking alike as well.
Absolutely.
I was quite lucky because by the time we got to doing the vocals, after everyone else had really tracked everything, I was actually able to go down to Superfly and work in a socially distanced way through the glass. But we were allowed to work at that time.